Oh, did I get muted? Can you hear me now? There we go. I think my mic got muted. Sorry about that. I'll start over. I think I was muted for a second. Hi, everybody. My name is Ashley Blevins. I am the Education Director at Gateway Center for Performing Arts, and welcome to our Give STL Day fundraiser. It is 3 o'clock, and so this is our 3 o'clock power hour. This is a great time to give to GCPA through Give STL Day because all donations made during this hour are compounded with sponsor dollars through Give STL. So your dollar and donation goes further during this hour. There's a cash pool and a way that all dollars are calculated and compounded. So the more we receive in donations during this hour, the more we get in sponsorship dollars as well. So we're glad you're here. We are going to be raising toward our goal of $10,000. And as you can see, we are at 2,500, a little bit more than 2,500. So we'd love to get to 3,000 or even higher in this hour. And this is going to be a really great conversation between 3 and 4 o'clock today. I'm going to be joined by some of GCPA's teaching artists, and we are going to be talking with the teachers and all things education and how your donations are going to benefit all of us in the classroom and the students that come into these classrooms and interact with our amazing teaching artists. So thanks so much for being here. And I want to introduce the teaching artists who are here with us today. So joining me is Becca Harbison. Say hi, Becca.
Hi.
And we also have Christy Timberlake.
Hello.
And we have Mary Fedak. Hi, Miss Mary.
Hello, everyone.
I'm so glad that you all are here with me today. And thanks for being here to help GCPA do some fundraising. I'm really, really excited to share your perspective on GCPA and what it's like to be in the classrooms because you're the ones who are in it. Like you guys are in the down and dirty, day in and day out, on the ground, in the trenches, all the expressions, right? You guys, you're the ones doing it. And so you have really, really valuable perspective on what it's like and what's needed and how donations today can help support you in what you're doing at GCPA. So I really appreciate you all being here. Why don't we start by just doing some introductions? I'd love to have you all introduce yourselves and talk about your background and what you do that's related to the performing arts and what you do at GCPA. So Becca, you want to start?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Becca. I've been at GCPA. I realize it'll be 4 years this summer.
Whoa!
And I do a lot of community-based directing and directing in schools as well. And here at GCPA, I teach a lot of the junior and introductory level senior acting classes, as well as the improv classes as well, which I know is a program we're really working on growing.
Yeah, thanks, Becca. Yeah, Becca has just been a tireless advocate for the acting program at GCPA and for the growth of that department and has invested a ton in that. So we're really, really thankful for all that she does. And Christy, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Christy. I am finishing, I think, my 3rd year with GCPA. And I teach primarily musical theater performance classes for our younger students and our beginner juniors students. And then I also sometimes just jump in where I'm needed.
Got muted again, sorry. Yes, that's awesome. Christy is everything to everyone all of the time. And we are so thankful for her. And Miss Mary?
Well, yes, I couldn't remember if this is my 6th or 7th year working at GCPA. I started in the summer that you were doing the summer productions of Frozen, and I got hired by Miss Christiana as the choreographer, and then continued on teaching introductory musical theater dance, tap, for juniors. And then we had COVID, and I still was teaching for GCPA through Zoom. That was interesting, teaching musical theater performance as well as dance, but we made it work. And we're so thrilled we're back in the classroom. And so I continue on doing that, teaching all the way up through the senior level, tap classes, musical theater, dance classes, and then doing a lot of the choreography for summer camp productions.
Yes, Mary is another one who just has been such a backbone to GCPA and has been a part of teaching and directing and doing choreography and things like that in so many of our programs. So we love having Miss Mary and all of you guys. I'm just so thankful that you're a part of our team. This is great actually, because Becca represents such an arm of our acting department, and Mary of course does dance, and Christy does, a lot of things, musical theater, but Christy, really your like primary thing is voice and music. So we've got somebody from each of kind of our three branches of our arts education, and all three of you have been involved in past GCPA productions as well, and sort of the umbrella of musical theater that GCPA does. So you guys have seen it all and done it all and have a lot of great perspective. I would love to hear from anybody who would like to share what is some of your favorite things about being an arts educator. What do you love? What are you passionate about? Christy?
My favorite thing is seeing that spark of potential get ignited into something big and like life-changing, because especially today and now the world is crazy. Kids have it so hard, and just finding a space where they feel like they are successful and wanted is so difficult right now, that being able to provide that space for them of we can find something that you're amazing at, and we're going to be rooting and supporting you the whole time. It's my favorite part of arts. It's just like seeing a little kid get or a big kid just get so excited because they realize in that moment, I am worth something, I am valuable, and I love seeing that.
Yeah, to piggyback off of that, I think especially with younger kids, lots of kids are trying sports at a really early age, or they have art class at school and they're learning to draw and paint at an early age. But things like acting and dance and musical theater aren't always introduced like in a school K-12 setting. And there is so often this moment of like, oh, this is my thing. And seeing kids kind of discover that this is something that they really enjoy, that they're strong at. And often, they have not found that success in like other avenues necessarily. Sometimes they have. But to really see kids like who are not used to having their thing kind of find that within our programming at GCPA is really cool.
I kind of like to think about whenever I'm starting a class or another production, it's like starting with a clean slate or a blank page, and then just kind of being able to create everything about whether it's the script or the lyrics, the song, the dance, and just really almost turning nothing into something. And so it's just so fun from the beginning of a project, whether it's a class or summer camp or whatever it is, and then taking it to the final culminating performance, just to see how much these kids have grown and how much they've added their own personalities into whatever we've asked them to do, whether it's to, develop a character, to learn a dance, to stretch their vocal cords, to become part of a production. It's just amazing. I just love it. It's my favorite part.
I love that. I love that so much. And I feel like that's everything you all have shared just speaks to both how great our students are in the both in being able to watch them make those discoveries and have those aha moments, and to get to the end of a class or the end of a rehearsal period and to see how far they've come, and how special that is. And then also the particular passion and commitment and dedication that you all bring to your craft, and the ways that you create this classroom environment that unlocks that potential in your students. And I know I've seen that as I've observed each of you in the various things that you've done. It's always really fun to sort of peek in through the window or through the door for a moment, or sometimes I get to walk in and take photos or just like hang out for a few minutes in a class. And what you guys do is really magical. So the both the caliber of the student and the caliber of the teachers at GCPA is just something pretty spectacular. Is there anything in particular about teaching for GCPA that you guys really love? I think all of you, most of you, if not all of you, do all kinds of great theater education and directing and theater making around St. Louis. And one of the things that I love about St. Louis is there are so many great opportunities for young people and adults, but GCPA specializes in young people, to do and to learn all kinds of things regarding theater. And I love that that a lot of our staff has a lot of diverse experiences to draw from, and diverse, education and experience and background to bring into the classroom with them. And there's just certainly never a shortage of opportunities for kids in St. Louis, which I love about that. So I love that you guys bring that into the classroom as well. And so my question is, what particular things about GCPA do you enjoy in regards to your teaching, in regards to the students, in regards to what you get to bring into the classroom at GCPA when you come and do arts with us here?
So I'm sure I've told this story. I think I've told this story on Give Us TL Day before. But before I worked at GCPA, my first exposure to GCPA was seeing Matilda. And I came with a colleague, and literally at intermission, I leaned over to him and I said, how do we get people to care this much? Because that was something that struck me as an audience member, that continues to strike me as a staff member and a director and a teacher at GCPA, is the passion is so strong for the kids, really going all the way up. Their parents, board members, founders, teachers, everybody across the board really cares a lot. And I think that's something that's struck me from the very beginning. I also really appreciate that, like, even though we may not like see each other in person, like I think Paul and I see each other in the building, probably 4 times a year or something like that. But he's always, and all of the founders and the leadership are always really open to like, hey, I've got a question, or like, here's what I'm facing. What are your thoughts? Ashley helped me with one of those this week. And so I think knowing that you have people to problem solve with, and that really is what the conversations are, is kind of, how can we best serve this student, is also something that I think makes a really great setup as a teacher.
The thing that really drew me to GCPA was the sense of community and family that comes with working here. Which can, of course, there's always like a downside, because we're all up in each other's business all the time. There's just nothing that nobody doesn't know about everybody else. But we do that with love. And I have worked jobs where all that matters is my efficiency, the outcome that I can produce, and knowing that the staff of GCPA and the families of GCPA care about me as a person makes it easier for me to give 100% all the time, because I care about helping them the same way that they've helped me.
I think for me, it's maybe a little bit of both of those. GCPA has just given me amazing opportunities for doing what I love to do, which is primarily choreography. And I love all the different choices of shows that you guys decide, to put on every year. You're just so ambitious, and all of them turn out so amazing. It's just hard to believe. And a lot of them are done in just weeks, a period of time, particularly in the summer. So I love the quality of the products that we're putting out at GCPA. And like Christy said, probably half the classes I teach, I co-teach. A lot with Miss Christie and a couple of the other teachers that aren't with us today. Everyone has been absolutely amazing to work with. We're all there to cover each other. We have each other's back. We play into each other's strengths. And it's just a joy to be there, whether it's by myself in the classroom teaching or as a team teacher. And I just love all the different opportunities. And I feel like you guys bend over backwards to make sure your teachers are happy with the class offerings that, you're giving us.
I love that. I love that. This is my little guy, Noah. You say hi to the whole world.
He's not so little anymore.
No, he's not. He just fell down.
Oh.
I need you to look at my leg. I think he's okay now. I sent an SOS to his dad. I'm sorry. He's okay. He's okay now. I wanted to say, we've seen some comments pop up and some questions. Thank you guys. Those of you who are watching at home and interacting with us. If you're watching, we'd love for you to ask questions of our teaching artists, ask questions of us here. We'd love to interact with you. So say hi if you're watching and you're seeing us. So Aliona asks, what GCPA class would you love to take? That's a fun question. What do you guys think? Forgetting age requirements, what would you love to take as a student?
Dance, any musical theater dance. As I teach a lot of musical theater performance classes, and I've been in theater all my life, but I've never taken an official dance class. So everything I know, it's because I've caught on from watching others. When I'm co-teaching with Mary, I am learning while watching her. When I co-teach with Jennifer, I'm learning about dance while watching her. But it would be so nice to just be a student and have someone teach me how to dance.
And that is so me. I tell every student of mine who will listen to me that I wish people in my life had pushed me harder when I was young to do more dance. I just wanted to sing. I loved to sing. That was my thing. Sing, sing, sing. And I wish people had emphasized to me how important that was. So I do classes whenever I can, but that's not as often as I would like. So, but yeah, I'm right there with you, Christy. I would love to do dance. I would love to do leaps and turns.
I was going to say that's the one. If I had it free evenings, I would love to take the leaps and turns class. Yeah.
Yes.
I was flipping through the brochure for next year, and I saw that there's a modern music class happening, which I was like, that sounds really interesting.
Yes.
Also, I don't know what Jennifer Edgley teaches on Tuesday nights in the Blue Studio, but they have the best playlist. So that whatever class that is, I'd want to take that one too.
Yeah.
The Mean Girls and the Hercules.
Oh no, you will not be seeing leaps from me. Especially not. I mean, Laura Roth is amazing. She does some of our more advanced stuff, and she's awesome. If my son Noah were back here, he'd be leaping over my head over this couch right now. He'll do the leaps for you. Becca, I'm glad you brought up modern music because that's sort of, it's not exactly brand new, but it's sort of new. So that was inspired by a class that we offered this past year called GCPA. And that's a class that I've been teaching. And it's it is meant to be sort of modeled like a Pitch Perfect, Glee, you know, like low pressure, come in and like sing more of that kind of music, learn some acapella, learn some group sing stuff, kind of like a Glee club, learn how to do original covers of whatever songs, you know, do a little bit of light choreography, but mostly focus on the vocal. And it has been so fun. I have the coolest, like most unexpected mix of students in there. They're all just so different, but they come together in this just fun, funny, quirky, and perfectly complemented little community. And they sing together and they just adore each other. And it is so fun. And I kind of left the floor open to them to talk about what songs they were interested in doing. And a lot of them love musical theater. So we do some musical theater, but we also do a lot of modern stuff. So we do, you know, of course, we've done some Taylor Swift and, you know, we've done some modern stuff. And one of the things that they also have really come to love is when we do karaoke nights or karaoke segments of our class. So sometimes I'll leave the last 10 or 15 minutes and I'll pull out my karaoke machine and microphones and we sing karaoke. And so that's been really fun. And so we're going to try to expand that. And so that's what modern music is going to be. We're going to expand it to a couple different age groups, and it will be focused on modern songs. We won't do as much musical theater, although we might weave in some contemporary musical theater music depending on the interests of the students. But yeah, it'll be modern music, and it'll be things like how to sing in a modern style. We'll even incorporate things like microphone techniques, since everyone loves the karaoke and the microphone. And that's, you know, that's an important aspect of vocal music too, you know, and GCPA really has a niche in musical theater. But we're always looking to expand, especially, you know, to the interests of our teachers and our students. So yeah, I'm really excited about, you know, hopefully we'll get some good response to that one. That's great. It's really fun to hear what you guys would be interested in teaching. Awesome. If you're just joining us, I'll take a pause here to just welcome any new viewers. Glad you're joining us. This is the Teaching Artist segment of our Give STL Day live stream broadcasts. So I'm Ashley Blevins, I'm Education Director, and I'm joined by a panel of some of our teaching artists who are sharing about life in the classroom at GCPA. We are on our way toward a $10,000 goal, and what we are trying to raise money for specifically is maintenance and improvements in our studio spaces. We've been at our Webster Grove studios now for about 7 years. In that time, we have expanded into multiple levels and multiple studios within our building, and we are still growing. And 7 years of, you know, hundreds of students and parents in and out of those studios means lots of love all over our doors and walls and floors and everything else. And the picture that you see here is an actual whiteboard in an actual classroom. And as you can see, it is doodled on all the time, and it is doodled all around all the time. Becca, do you want to share about that whiteboard?
Yes, this is in the downstairs acting studio. And it's funny because you have to tell the kids not to erase with the eraser, because that's how we end up with those marks on the walls. But yes, it is well loved. I use a lot of the whiteboard a lot in my class. And I know there's maybe been talk of getting a bigger whiteboard. So give us money so we can get a bigger whiteboard. But yes, it is very well loved in that space for sure.
Yep. And so here's another one. Miss Mary or Miss Christy, do you have any experience with what we're seeing here?
Yes. Oh, yes.
The best part about that is the kids are so aware of that particular problem in the class that I almost never have any trips or falls in class. I'm the one who forgets that it's there, and I'm always tripping over it. So yeah, I have a lot of experience with that one piece of rubber.
Yeah, I used to teach a lot in that classroom. Not so much this year. I teach in the other dance studio, but yes, it's been happening a long time. So it's been going on for over a year, I know.
Yes, and I personally have gone into that studio with various types of adhesives and glues and have, spent an hour trying to stick that bumper back on, and it is a tough one. So these are some great illustrations of some of the maintenance that's needed. Paint is expensive and we have a lot of scuffs and marks and bumps and, dings and things of that nature that, we were talking about this in an earlier segment. It's not glamorous to say I need $10,000 to put paint on the wall to cover the scuffs. It's not a glamorous ask. But these kinds of things really do matter because it speaks to the feeling of hospitality in a new space. When a new person walks in, it speaks to a sense of like, this is comfortable. I can be myself here. I'm going to be well cared for here, and those kinds of things. So yeah, it really is an important aspect of it. And we're really thankful for all of your donations. And look, we are on our way to 3K. That's very exciting. $152 to go. Please donate. Please share. And let's keep this fundraiser going. Aliona asks, have you tried chewing gum to stick the rubber to the floor? I personally haven't tried, although I wouldn't put it past some of our students.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey Noah. Are there? I have a little robot here. He's put batteries on his chest like a battery pack. You are a robot. I would love to hear from you guys.
Connected to myself, so I
Pause. I would love to hear from you guys. What other types of things like what we're talking about, these little dings and stuff, like what are you seeing in your studios that could use some love, and what are some of the ways that these donated dollars today will help you in your particular spaces and the things that you need for your teaching?
We have a whole lot of students who are going back-to-back classes nowadays because we have so many students who they just can't get enough of us. And so they will take multiple classes in one evening. But because of that, they have to bring literally an entire duffel bag of stuff. And we have these cute little cubbies for you to put like a water bottle and a pair of shoes in, but it would be really awesome if we could have the funds to kind of reorganize the storage space that we supply for our students so that they feel like they can bring everything that they need in order to succeed in our classrooms.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with everything that Christy's saying. And we have you're definitely right that we have a lot of scuffs. And kids are often like, how did these scuffs get on the wall? And it's like, look how you're leaning back in your chair like that. That's how. But you're absolutely right that there is a level of comfort when the room is well put together and organized and clean. And all of those things that we really strive for across the board. Because I definitely remember when we moved in downstairs, that feeling and how that felt to everybody. And everybody felt incredibly welcomed and in this wonderful space that has been very well loved in the 3 years or so since it's been opened. So I definitely am hopeful that, things like the scuffs on the walls and the blinds that have been bent by class after class of small children and things like that are things that we can hopefully fix in the future.
Yes, for sure. Something else that comes to mind for me, we were talking about this in an earlier segment, is we're also hoping to make some updates to Classroom furniture, we have lots of cubbies, like Christy's talked about. I'm a big fan of the cubby space. But we're hoping to put in some more things that will help with organizing classroom materials. We're hoping to update some of the furniture. Some of our chairs are seeing much more wear and tear, and so we're wanting to get some new chairs, get some things that will better serve larger groups of students in some of our bigger studios. It's exciting that our programming is growing and that there's, more and more students, more and more need for the studio spaces to be used more frequently. And so, we're asking ourselves, what kinds of things can we put in the classrooms to keep things still organized, so that students have the space they need for their stuff, so teachers have the space they need for their stuff. Becca, do you want to tell the saga of the dry erase markers?
So I purchased some dry erase markers, and I just placed them on a shelf because that is the extent of the furniture that we have in the downstairs acting studio. And they quickly were turned apparently into swords. I was out that week because I was in tech, but they were turned into swords, and we had all kinds of stuff drawn with them, and some of them walked away because I think our students are just so excited about art that they really loved these markers. But the point being that I just put them on the shelf. But if we were to have, more space for teacher materials and things like that, that would be something that would be helpful.
And I know you guys were thinking about trying to update in each of the classrooms, like with an iPad or something where the teachers would be able to access something with, because I know we're supposed to take attendance and all of those kinds of things. It'd be nice if there was something on site in each of the classrooms, be able to accommodate that with like a level of technology.
That's right. One of the things that we're hoping to add to classrooms are tethered iPads that all teachers would have access to for everything you said, Mary, for attendance, for storing and accessing class content like sheet music, music tracks, scripts. There's also, so we are switching to a new registration platform in the 2024-2025 class season. We're very excited about it. It's called Dance Studio Pro. We've been through a number of platforms now and have just been trying to find the one that best fits the needs of our teachers and our families and our students, of course. And we're feeling really good about Dance Studio Pro. And one of the things it is outfitted with is this really great iPad class manager system that's going to allow teachers just a lot more like technological support. And it also comes with a built-in chat feature where teachers can like text chat with parents quickly if needed. So if someone's running late or if they need to do a check-in about something. So yes, we're hoping to add some technology to the classroom as well with donations from today. Hello, Julie. We love Julie and Andy. Andy's around our studios all the time, and he's awesome. And the Hickson Lamb family is great. As a parent, I'd love to see more waiting space. Yes. Expansion number 2. That's right. I know. Our lobby space is small. And that is a completely valid point of feedback. I would love to provide more waiting space. And we do our best to make our waiting areas as comfortable as possible because there are parents who hang around. And it's definitely worth looking at how we can make the most of the lobby space that we do have and make it comfortable. And we have kids who wait around a lot too, who are taking multiple classes in a night. So yes, absolutely. We should hire an interior decorator to come and tell us how we can make the most of the lobby space for our families.
Surely there's a parent who's an interior decorator, right?
Well, I'm sure I would love that.
And that's actually both upstairs and downstairs, the lobby space, because, a lot of the classes are downstairs, so the parents have to congregate sort of outside the glass doors in the atrium. So yeah, it would be nice.
Oh, And a coffee cart. Mrs. Producer backstage has been lobbying for a coffee cart for a long time. Oh, and Aliona makes the point that you can take classes while you're waiting for your kids in their classes. And that is true. GCPA offers classes from age 3 all the way up through adult classes. So yeah, if you're, Julie, if you're ever interested in learning what class options are there for you while you're waiting for Andy, let us know. We would love to serve you in that way. So I love that Julie is dreaming big, and saying, what can we do for the lobby? Give us more waiting space. I would love to hear from the 3 of you, and those of you who are watching on the live stream, feel free to pipe in as well, because we love feedback and we love hearing ideas. Dream big. I mean, you can dream small and practical to what could be right now for you. And or dream big about, like, what would you love to see in the classrooms and in the studios at GCPA that would support your teaching?
GCPA campuses. So then we can have kids just stay here. They can live here like a dorm. And we get to
you
see
be in
them
charge
all
of the dorm. You'd probably be a great dorm parent. I could see it.
I would have so much fun. I did apply to be an RA when I went to college. I didn't get it because I am not very good at organization.
Well, sometimes it feels like we do sleep there, doesn't it? When we're there late one night and we're right there the next morning.
I've taken naps in voice studios. That's real.
Yeah.
As far as a big dream, though, this dream maybe isn't that big, but I certainly look forward to the day we expand beyond use of the upstairs acting studio and have more spaces in place. I think we make really good use of that room, and it's very well loved. But I am sure that anyone who takes class in there would also very much adore an exclusive space for class, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for those who haven't seen that space or experienced it, Becca, can you kind of talk about some of the particular challenges of it?
Yes. So this is, if you've ever just been in GCPA and come up to the desk, this is the room with the desk in it. So there's sometimes like phones ringing, there's a voice studio on one side, and we're incredibly blessed to like run all of these classes, particularly on Wednesdays when we're very busy. We are like full up in all of the rooms. And so I currently have like a 10 student teen improv class in that room, and so we've got like a piano in there and a conference table and many other things, and again, we make very good use of it, but I think an exclusive space is a dream of mine moving forward.
It would also just be helpful when we have our younger kids in there, because we use that space for rehearsals, for when we have summer camp productions happening and things like that. And there's so much stuff to poke at in the office.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite is when I get the questions and I don't know. It's like, what's that basketball for? And it's like,
who knows?
I later learned it was the High School Musical basketball.
And you actually run your before and after care in the summer in that room as well, Miss Christy, right?
Yeah.
So you're kind of in there multitasking. But I do, and Stephanie will verify this. My very first experience was before you all even expanded downstairs. And she will verify that I was teaching musical theater dance as well as my beginning tap class in what you now have as your storage room adjacent to the Blue Studio. And there was a lot of stuff being stored in there, but yet I was still teaching in the open space that I had. So that was very interesting. So I was very thrilled when you opened those studios downstairs. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So it is definitely a very multi-purpose kind of space. Another particular challenge of it is that you have to walk through it to get to one of the voice studios. So yes, we are always brainstorming ways to improve the usage of that space. We've talked about purchasing some like trifold room dividers so that those can be set up when a class is in session and still give some sort of coverage to the class. and whoever's working at the front desk, and give someone a pathway to the voice studio if needed. Yes, and I'm always scheming about how to rearrange that space to make it more like aesthetically welcoming, as like the place where you walk in that has the desk, that has the, you know, the front desk person, which is usually Christy, and that sort of thing. You know, in a way that feels welcoming to people. Yes. So these are all, like, this in particular, and all of these ideas are just really great for a lot of the practicals that we're trying to work toward with donations from today. Aliona asks, what's the funniest things you've heard in the classes that you teach?
I never remember them. I always claim I'm going to get a journal so I can write them down when they happen, because I mean, it's just like that TV show, kids say the darndest things. They really do, especially when they feel comfortable with you, which is what we aim for. But also that produces some very interesting moments in class. I will say I always get a kick. I tend to talk in metaphors and analogies a lot when trying to explain things to my younger kids. And I don't know if it's always been this way, but like kids have become like super literal. So anything that I say, if it's not exactly what's happening in the classroom, they are so quick to correct me. If I am one word off in a song, because I'm like, we're going to start from the world keeps turning round and round. Like, it's not turning. The world keeps spinning, Miss Christie. I'm like, you knew what I was talking about. We're going to start from that part of the song. Okay. Don't worry about it. It's like, and that exasperation builds up over the course of the hour-long class until I cannot help but laugh at how they are so ready to correct me about everything. You know, but it's not, the sky's not blue today. There's clouds today. And I'm like, okay, oh my gosh, like that's not what I meant.
I recently, I think this week actually, in an improv class, for our question of the day, I asked, like, what is your favorite thing that you've learned or done in this class? Because we had kind of tried some different things out this semester. And a kid who was about 8 says, I know how to stop laughing when my mom is yelling at me. So like the kid was saying that like she would always crack up when like she was in trouble or something. And one of the strategies we had worked on is like, how can you not laugh if you're going to break in a scene? And so I was like, when she initially said it, I was like, what? But then when she further explained, I was like, well, good life skill, keeping a straight face. But I fully was beside myself, just like, what? When she initially said it, but I thought that was funny.
That's fun. The one that comes to mind for me is, so I am one of the directors on a program called Musical Makers that GCPA offers, which is a class. It is technically a class, and it is considered part of the education branch of GCPA. And it's a year-round class. You do fall and spring, and we work toward producing a full musical in the spring. And so these are for our youngest performers. They're for kids who have never done theater before, who are just stepping into it, trying it out, or ones who are a little bit more shy and just need like a lower pressure kind of production experience. So this year we are producing 101 Dalmatians Kids. That's going to be performing at the Robert G. Rhyme in a couple of weeks. And we're doing Jungle Book Kids next year. So if any of you watching are interested in Jungle Book for your littlest guys, it's going to be for ages 6 to 10. And registration is open now. It is open, by the way, for all of our classes. So you can go ahead and start signing up for all of our classes beginning in the fall, making sure that you get your spots in your most favorite classes like Jungle Book. But this kid, we so we sit down at the beginning of the year and we kind of map everything out. We're going to learn about auditions. We're going to practice auditions together, and then we're going to do them, and we're going to get into the show and all this stuff. And, the kids always have a million jillion questions. And so they're all asking about costumes, and they're asking about when do we get our scripts and how do we get our parts and all these things. And this one little kid raised his hand and he said, is there going to be a curtain? And I was like, do you mean on the stage? And he was like, yeah. And I said, yeah, we're going to get to perform on this big stage and the curtain will open and shut. And he goes, do we get to be behind the curtain? And I said, yes. And he said, do you think it's okay if I touch it one time? And he was just so like in awe. It was this like in awe kind of moment of like, this is for real. This is a big deal. There's a curtain. And I was like, man, you're going to get to experience so much more than curtains as a part of this thing. And I just, it's funny. The question was, what's a funny teaching moment? But I still remember that one, I think, just because it speaks to an aspect of GCPA education that I love, which is that exposure to performing, that ignites it either, it ignites a new love or a new passion for theater. Maybe, we love that when it happens, but also just the building up of confidence, the building up of imagination and exploration and self-awareness and all of these things that that arts education brings. And we get to come alongside kids like that and just open up new worlds for them and see the people that they become because of that. So I love that. We are $102 from 3K. Can we get there in the next 10 minutes? We would love to reach that goal by 4 o'clock. We're so thankful to those of you who have been watching with us. And we are working toward $10,000 today. So hitting that $3,000 mark at the end of this power hour would be great. Just as a reminder, any donations that come between now and 4 o'clock go extra, because as part of Give STL Day, the St. Louis Community Foundation has sponsorship money that's been pledged specifically to this hour. And so for all dollars raised, more dollars come into GCPA from those sponsors. And the more we earn during this hour, the more we get from the sponsorship dollars. So we would love to have you all donate. The minimum donation is $10. So all it would take would be 10 people to give $10 in the next 10 minutes. How's that for all the tens? And speaking of this is a great time to also share this little bit of information. Something else that GCPA is working toward as part of Give STL today. There are additional cash prizes for various things throughout the day. And one of the things that we're trying to do is reach the top of the leaderboard for the most unique donors on this day. The organization in our business category that has the first, second, and third most unique number of donors will win extra cash prizes. And they're pretty significant. They're in the thousands of dollars.
Wow.
So it would be pretty amazing for us to get up to the top of leaderboard. We have a ways to go. We have a gap to cover, but that's where you guys come in. Here's what we would love for you to do. It only takes $10. So if you could share GCPA with your friends, you can share this live stream. You can share any of the posts that you see on our Facebook or our Instagram. You could even just text your friend and be like, hey, a place that I really love or that I think is really cool is doing this fundraiser today. All it takes is $10, and we're trying to get on top of the leaderboards so they can get extra prize money. Can you do $10? This place is really cool, I promise. Here's the link to donate. Just take 5 minutes and give $10, and it would be awesome. Like, that's all we need. And if we're looking at probably about 100 more donors that we need to reach that leaderboard goal. But if 10 people text 10 of their friends or 10 of their family members, I'll bet we could get there real quick. So if this live stream is hitting you and you're enjoying what you see, and you can think of a couple of people, maybe it's family, maybe it's friends, maybe it's just the people that you notice on your Facebook timeline tend to post musical theater memes or, Taylor Swift memes because they like music. Like, send this to them, send the donation link. It's givestlday.org/GCPA STL. send them that link and say, hey, could you do $10 today? And we would love to get up on that leaderboard and see if we can contend for that cash prize. Plus, if those $10 donations come in, that's, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars toward our goal as well. And it just started with $10, so we appreciate that from you guys. Julie, I love how much history they learn from being in musicals. Andy told me so many historical facts and references kids learn from being in ragtime. Yes, absolutely. Musicals are a wealth of knowledge well beyond just the experience of getting to perform on stage. And speaking of ragtime, at 6 o'clock, which is our next power hour, we will be having a panel of ragtime cast members hosted by the assistant director of ragtime, Zion Thomas, and they'll be sharing about their experience in ragtime and how your donations can also help to benefit our youth theater company that also uses our studio spaces. So I love hearing that about Andy and about ragtime, and definitely come and check out at 6 o'clock. We'll be back on live with some of our ragtime cast. Aliana, thank you for everything you do, especially Becca for teaching kids not to laugh when we yell at them. I love that. I love that. Well, we're about to wrap up here on this power hour. Becca, Christy, and Mary, anything else that you guys would like our viewers to know?
I just want to say that I love the teachers that we have right now on the screen. I've taught with them all before, work with them. They're amazing. All the teachers at GCPA that I've had the pleasure of working with are the same. And I'm going to do a shout out to one of our past teachers because he is currently in town performing in the ensemble of Moulin Rouge. I love Kamal. He was rocking it. So we have some pretty amazing faculty members, current as well as in the past.
Yep. And Kamal was just here doing a master class with some of our students. They were amazing. Their work is really great. And I'm really glad that we, like you said, Mary, we have people like this that come in and out of our faculty, people like the three of you. It's just amazing what we're able to do for youth theater in St. Louis because of you guys.
And donating to this GCPA Give St. Louis Day will just help us do our jobs even better.
Ragtime was so good. Average theater kid. You're right. Becca, Christy, any final things you'd like to share?
I think, I know the parents know how big of an impact like GCPA is having, for their student, but I'm really seeing that there are literally hundreds of kids who GCPA is such a big part of their life and is making such an impact for them, and in the same way that, every kid that plays soccer may not be a professional athlete, but they're learning important lessons there. That's, something that we see here at GCPA as well, of like, people learning how to be stronger teammates, stronger people, all of those wonderful things. So give us money so we can do more of that.
And to tag on to that, I sometimes wonder if families realize how important they are to GCPA. It's so easy to make it feel like it's all about the kids and it's all about the money and how much money we can get out of your kids. But a lot of it is also the families themselves when you have a community of families who care about not just the company, but the people involved with the company, everything grows, everyone is supported. And it makes teaching your students, your kids, that much more rewarding because we know on a personal level what we are doing for them, and it encourages us. It keeps us motivated to be our very best for your kids. Yeah, so give us money.
Well said. Well said. All right. Well, Becca, Christy, Mary, thank you so much for being a part of this panel. I love hearing from you guys. And just, we always are like going a mile a minute, hi in the hallway and like on to the next thing. And we know how great each other are, but it's really nice to just sort of like pause and take some time to be reflective together. So I'm really thankful for you all, thankful for all of our teaching artists, thankful for you guys at home. Thank you for your continued support. Please donate. You still have 4 minutes left and you can get us to 3K and beyond. So let's do
do
this
it.
thing. Come back and see us at 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock tonight. Text your friends and tell them to donate $10. That's all we need. Let's pop up our place on the leaderboard and let's finish Give STL Day strong. All right. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. We love you all.